be following the flow, wandering in wonder, being able to see the pathway forward is not always clear, but we can have the awesome excitement of just following it and just living in the present moment, which is very difficult, especially when there's so many things contingent upon something else. There's always an excuse, there's always a story, there's always an ego resistance, but that doesn't mean that we have to restrict the flow, restrict the abundance. We have the ability to kind of just like float. If we learn to float, we kind of start to get into rhythm with nature. And when we get into rhythm with nature, we can learn to nurture it and start to grow new things. So that's really important when you're trying to follow the flow. So as the planets are opening to all systems go right now, as they're all aligning in direct, we are ready to follow the flow. So tonight we have our spirit animals per usual. We have our left is Obsidian, our right is Citrine. So depending upon where you want to go, we're going to follow the flow. I don't know. I think I want to go here. This is going to be my card. The Phoenix. Talk about really spreading your wings. Being able to connect into our root chakra, into the grounding force of nature and energy. I always like to think of my ankles as tree trunks and my feet as the roots that are inside the earth, grounding me out. When we can ground out into nature, we can really cancel out and release that negative energy and trauma that gets stored up in our root chakra. That's our survival, our ability to move forward. So Phoenix is here to help us endure through difficult and trying times. You want to avoid burnout, so definitely take the time to heal as you're rebirthing into your new form and your new reality. As we release the shadows and the negative naysaying doubt, we can really start to spread our wings wider and stronger, and we can fly longer and further. So time to purge and fly, and transformation energy is underway. The Phoenix, our reality right now, the Hanged Man, is perspective. Maybe you feel stagnant. You don't feel like anything's changing. Nothing's happening. So when something like that occurs, we need to really take that moment of silence and really just kind of hang upside down. If you ever done trapeze yoga, that's a great way to start. If not, you can just kind of lay on your back and let your feet lay against the wall. Take a moment to breathe. It's going to definitely be a matter of creation that's going to help show and navigate your path forward. Queen of Discs, you've been sitting on your hands. It's just a matter of not knowing or understanding. Is it coming or going? Are you staying? Are you leaving? So if you're in a matter of moving or in the sense of business, relationships, or anything of that nature, maybe you just kind of been in a holding pattern and you're just kind of ready to break free. But the current reality is saying we just gotta hang tight for a little bit longer. The Princess of Discs. Now, she is telling us that by spring, things are going to be really shifting up. She is definitely in the element of the ethers, Phoenix being of an ether element, representing our root chakra. She's definitely bringing in that aspect of creation, birth, renewal. She is pregnant here, but at the same token, she does have the concept of anything being birthed. So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be a child, but it can mean something fabulous is on the horizon. 9 of Wands. Our strength is coming into our power right now. The Phoenix is here to say that we're getting that energy flow. So even if you feel like nothing is moving, nothing is starting, these are some powerful cards of transition. So just know that the firepower and the energy force is here, the vitality, but if you're still stuck in an old emotional loop or pattern, you might not recognize that the energy has shifted and you are in a new being. So let go of the old emotional memories and really seize the moment to be present. Our current reality is the Prince of Cups. The Prince of Cups is definitely saying that huge firepower with the Phoenix is occurring, but the power of the Prince of Cups can kind of like match that with the emotional intuition. So this is definitely saying that this is definitely a rebirth of an emotional situation that's underway. So you can really liberate yourself and start a new cycle, to really begin anew, to really be free from that experience and to nourish yourself. I think that when you're looking forward into the future, it's kind of hard to stay present because you have to kind of plan where you're going, but that doesn't always need to be the case. These cards are all stationary and they're just kind of existing. So it seems to me that the time is to just exist and do what you can in the moment to seed your intentions, encourage that new awareness to find a new perspective. The suppression. Yes, I feel it too. The suppression is definitely something that is a mental aspect. And when we're really stuck, it really seems difficult to think that there's a rebirth or a rising from the ashes. So when that occurs, we really just need to deal with those feelings. We need to deal with what it means to feel suppressed. What are we suppressed from? What is it that you feel like you're being restricted from? That is really kind of the suppression that can hold us back, because if we feel suppressed, how are we going to feel liberated to move forward or to create or to inspire or to heal? If we feel suppressed, it's going to be a kind of a difficult situation to move forward in. So I think that when you have this experience, the fire and the thunderbolt. Ooh, this is definitely saying that you're stepping beyond restrictions. This is also like significant to a Tower card. So the firepower here is real, and know that this energy may be rooted in an emotional trauma or an emotional situation at hand, but just know that there is a huge swirling force of energy, reinvigoration, and it's time to step beyond the restrictions and surrender to a new way of being. Because if we keep holding ourselves in the back or with what has happened in the past, it's going to be really hard to dream a new future. So with that being in mind, let's see what Obsidian, our animal to the left, has to say. Hello, Stingray. Stingray is definitely really in tune with their emotions. Emotions are going to be at the forefront. That clairsentience is really going to be occurring with any type of superpower in being able to navigate the flow. So how you want to flow should definitely stem from your emotions. This is definitely allowing your intuition to be your guide and finding that balance and restraint within our emotional well-being. Everything that has been preparing you and you've been focusing on and trying to move forward is here. It is ready. So have faith in yourself. It's ready to unfold. You have to follow your intuition and just have faith in yourself. And just kind of like avoid the distractions and any procrastination that can keep you from reaching that next phase in your life. Like Stingray was saying, the wish fulfillment is here with the Nine of Cups. We're definitely looking at maybe Pisces in the upcoming month to be kind of feeling that flow, that receiving that attraction, that abundance, whatever it is that we've been focusing on, really feeling that in our present reality. Maybe it's even occurring right now. The Lovers, romance, definitely can be part of your love language right now. We are, in Heart Week right now of Valentine's Day. So love is in the air, but I do believe that this is also about finding your great life purpose and being able to figure out what that means and how to feed your soul. I think that there is, or I should say I feel that this manifesting and this synthesis has kind of been swirling, and something's going to be happening within the reality to really say, oh, this is working, this is happening, this is what I need to be doing. Next stage, walking in the sun, really feeling like you're showing your light to the world. You know, this is definitely about very, very fortunate. Having the Nine of Cups with the Lovers, this is a huge spread right here. So anyone that has been drawn to the stingray path is definitely going to be feeling a huge shift in their consciousness. At a certain point in life, things do become futile, so you got to just keep doing you, standing tall, speaking your truth, walking forward, following the flow. There may be distractions or rocks along your path. You just have to make sure you're mindful and bodyful of your environment in all realities, directions, dimensions, and timelines. You know, that might be a little too much for some, so just start with the path you're walking. But as you're awakening into your new reality, be mindful that there is going to be a new clairsentience that's going to really allow you to feel the past and the present and the future to help you really feel and navigate yourself forward. Oh, beautiful cards. The Eon. This is going to be about adapting and walking within that philosophy that you've created within your lifetime. This is going to be the experience in which you can walk forward and really just feel what it's like to live in your new reality. It's like having a really shitty job and feeling underappreciated, or like living in a family surroundings that's just, you know, unbearable. And then you make a change. You change your job, or you choose to move out, or you get that divorce, or you do whatever it is, and it's been brutal. But then out of nowhere, you're just like, ah, oh, this is it. This is my new life. It's like living in the middle of the country and then moving to the beach for the first time. And you're like, oh my God, this is my life. I like live at the beach. Or maybe it's the mountains. Whatever it may be, this is that new experience, that new creative flow that's supposed to be governing and ushering us forward. You can definitely see this like rainbow effect within the stingray in the chakra system. It's definitely a great card to be in correspondence with the Phoenix in the root chakra. And you can definitely see the color system here that's really invoking that firepower of that new eon, because that is the element of fire. So this may be all about the emotions, but at the same token, it's all about that inspiration and that creative flow that is firing our juices to move us forward. Ah, the Master. Now, the interesting thing about this deck is that they added an extra card to the typical archetypical journey. And the Master is saying that you can finally like stop doing the circle and duality and just kind of like step away. You just kind of like, oh, here we go. I'm no longer playing this war. I'm no longer fighting this battle. You just kind of like step beyond. It's a liberation. It is a spiritual awakening within one's being. So the Master has come to say that if you have a little doubt right now, there is a huge shift that's coming if it already hasn't occurred. And your reality is here for you to seize and to liberate yourself from, because you have done the work. When you do the work, it is time to recognize that you've done the work and step off that cycle. You know, it doesn't matter how healed you are, we will always be working on the journey of healing until the day we take our last breath. So it's just a matter of learning how to master our emotions, and especially anybody that is a struggling empath or coming into that awakening and figuring out boundaries. This could be the next leveling up for you and saying, haha, you're making it to the next step, next phase. So it's definitely a fun aspect. Let's see, just out of curiosity. Courage. Oh, the courage that is taking you to get this far. That energy and that momentum, that strength, just to grow where you are. You are doing the right thing right now. Stay where you are and root down and grow, because there is no time like the moment just to bloom and blossom. When looking at both these paths, you can see that we are dealing with our chakra systems with the Phoenix and our root chakra, and with the stingray, and seeing the spine here of their chakra system coming into light with the illustrations. So this is definitely a time to get in tuned with your chakra system if you don't know what a chakra system is. Also, we're dealing with the suppression and feeling like nothing's turning over, that you're still in the ash and the ember is feeling burnt and raw, and you're just like, when am I going to fly out of this nest? When am I going to be free from this bird cage? I am just ready. And that suppression and that thunderbolt, you're going to have to step beyond your restrictions of your mind in order to see that path. Here is what happens when you step beyond the restrictions of your mind and start to liberate yourself and find that courage and that confidence within the journey, in the path that you're taking. So to find a nice concluding card for our wandering and wander. Woohoo! We got a couple here. Let's see what they have to say. Healing. That's what happens with the healing. The Fool, a new beginning of a new journey. Guidance, what it means to get the aspect of higher inspiration and intuition, getting that inner compass to guide us forward. And control. Don't we all love control? But control, it's kind of funny when you can see like the green here, which is totally emphasized with tonight's altar, the flow, the courage. And green is all about your heart chakra, also very connected to Mother Nature. But control is an illusion. But when we embrace nature and the flow, we can really start a new journey. And this healing that's occurring right now is starting that new beginning. The guidance that's coming from this journey is starting a new beginning. We are all here to start a new chapter every single day if we don't like the day we had before. Sounds kind of cliche, but it really is a matter of your mind and your emotions dictating your reality, and how your thoughts and your emotions guide you will really kind of guide how your physical body and energetic body feel. So stay in tune to your inner guidance, feel those feelings, your intuition, even if you have to let something go that would seem really amazing on the outside, but who knows what that timeline would have led you if you carried forward and trying to force something to happen that wasn't meant to be. So follow the flow this week and start that new journey forward. I appreciate y'all kind of just leaping beyond with ignoring ignorance. Mystic Mondays. You all have a great, great week.